Thank you for your question. Revival is incredibly important for the church because the church has been quiet. Evil is coming in like a flood. We see that the judgment of God has started in America, and we only know of a God of love and the God of justice who will also repay sin is never mentioned. And so we're only used to a God of love, and we all hope that things go away on its own, but they won't. And the church is asleep. The church is lukewarm, needs to be revived, needs to be awakened, needs to follow the Word of God, because there it is spelled out. It's a manual for us on what we are to do and how we are to live, and that we are to share our faith. And 97% of people, even in the church, they will never share Christ with others. And Christianity is dependent on new birth, on new babies. And who will have them? Is it the sheep of the flock? The sheep accepts the shepherd to do it, but it's really that the sheep must produce new sheep. And so the church no longer does what Jesus says, if you follow me, I will make you fishers of men. So I have concluded for myself that I was not really following Jesus. And it was a terrible, terrible thing for me to discover that I thought I was a good Christian and I was following him, but there were no results. No one heard the good news. And so my life had to change. And awakening and revival in a church will cause for the body of the church to reach out to others, to share Christ with them. And instead, we get overwhelmed with our circumstances. And I mentioned before that the judgment of God is upon our nations in North America. And you might ask, why is that? Well, the Bible gives us a clear answer. In Romans chapter 1, it says, the wrath of God will come upon us when we turn to ungodliness. And then he said, he's going to give us a debased mind. And I can only conclude all of the debased minds of people I would consider responsible, even for normal family life. They are voting at the highest level of governments for evil against God. And for me, that is just a sign of the judgment of God falling upon our nations. So we as a church have to rise.